You think you are being respectful, but in America, it might actually make you look rude. I learned that hard way. When I first moved here, I thought I was doing everything right, being polite, hardworking, smiling at everybody, saying hello to neighbors, which felt weird. But slowly, something felt off. People were distant, my conversations felt forced, and one day my American friend said to me, "You are super nice, but sometimes you come across a little blunt." Little blunt. That word hit me hard. So I started paying attention and I realized I was unintentionally breaking 7 unspoken cultural rules that made me look rude in America, even though I never meant to be. So I want to share this with you. So hopefully you don't make the same mistakes that I was making. And I guarantee you the last 3 ones you're probably making right now. But let's start with number 1, interrupting during conversation. Back home, that's very normal. When someone's sharing a story, you jump in with excitement, say, yes, that same thing happened to me. It's not disrespect, it's like, you showing excitement and connection. But here in United States, it lands very differently. I remember once one of my classmates was trying to share what happened with her during an internship. I got excited and I leaned forward and said, "Oh, I totally get that." She stopped and said, "Can you let me finish first?" I froze. Everyone went quiet. It was very awkward. Then another time during a group project, I did it again, trying to jump in with ideas to show my excitement and involvement. And someone said, "Only if you let me finish what I'm about to say." That's when it finally hit me that in America, interrupting isn't enthusiasm, it's interruption. It makes people feel unheard even if your intentions are good. Now, I consciously pause, I listen all the way through before I interrupt, and then I say something like, "That's interesting. Can I add something to that? Or can I say something?" You're not gonna believe this, but such small shift instantly changes how people see you. From too eager to being respectful and confident. And speaking of being respectful and confident, brings me to our next point, which is eye contact. Right here. When I grew up, looking down or looking away was a sign of respect, especially with elders, right? At least when I grew up, I was told that don't look into my eyes or keep your eyes level down or something like that. And later on, too much eye contact felt awkward. But here, it means something completely different. So I realized this during a conversation which I was having with one of my best friends. We were talking and midway, she paused and said, "Are you even interested in what I'm saying?" I mean, I was shocked. I said, "Of course. I'm listening." And she said, "But you're not looking at me." You see, that moment hit me because I was listening, just not with my eyes. That's when I learned that in America, eye contact isn't confrontation, it's connection. It shows confidence, interest, and genuine curiosity in other people. Now, I consciously hold natural eye contact when I talk, not like awkwardly staring, but trying to be present and show them that I genuinely care and am interested. This change is unbelievable. People open up more. They feel like they are being heard. It's crazy how something that small can change the entire energy of a conversation. And one of the cultural habits that I'm actually really proud of holding on to, even after living here for more than 11 years, is taking care of my family. No matter how far we are, like thousands of miles away, the sense of responsibility of wanting to look after our parent, it will never leave us. I know many of you who are watching do the same thing. The first time you start earning, one of the first things that you will be doing is to send money back home. Sometimes maybe it's for rent, sometimes for small expenses, or simply just because you want to show them that you really care and you got them and you are there for them. Over the years, I've tried almost every single platform that is out there to send money from US to India. By the way, I've been here for 11 years, but about a year ago, I found Crobo money and I honestly haven't looked back since then. Their conversion rates are some of the highest that I've ever seen, not just against the competitors like Zoom, Remitly, Wise, Abound, whatever. It's better than that. In fact, it's very close to Google conversion rate, and some days it will be even higher than Google conversion rates. And the best part, zero transaction. Whether you're sending 500 rupees for Raksha Bandhan or 1000 rupees for Diwali, nobody's gonna give you zero transaction fees, but Crobo money will. I personally tested it multiple times. In the last 1 year, I've sent more than $50,000, and I don't like to promote anything that I have not personally tried it. So I highly recommend that you check it out. And because you're part of my community, if you use my special link below, you will also get $25 Amazon gift card when you make a transaction over $500. $100. So again, I genuinely recommend that you try it once. Link is in the description. And this is one of the cultural habits that I never plan on changing. And I hope that one day I can teach my American friends this habit, because this is not something very common in America. But let's go back to the next cultural rule that I was breaking without even realizing it, is that chewing or talking while eating. Sometimes you make this sound. Remember? Or you're talking while you are trying to chew your food. Back home, it may be normal. We chat while eating. We also slurp drinking our, chai. Right? And even laugh, and even we talk. Nobody really cares. In fact, it shows that we are enjoying the company and the food. But in America, it's completely different. I remember one night I was invited to a dinner at my friend's home with their family. I was interested, I was having fun, and I was trying to tell a funny story that happened with me while I had food in my mouth. Everyone just smiled properly. Nothing seemed wrong until later when dinner was over and I was about to leave. My friend, who was very kind enough, pulled me aside and said, "Hey, I noticed that you sometimes make sounds while eating, like," and he further said that talking with your food in your mouth. I just wanted to tell you, because most people here notice that. He didn't try to make it like really awkward for me, but I was embarrassed. And at the same time, I was also very grateful that I have friends who felt comfortable trying to tell me something like that. That's when I realized that what's probably normal back home can feel uncomfortable over here in America. And now I make sure that I finish chewing before I speak, take smaller bites, and enjoy the silence between conversations. In fact, I also started developing this habit of, if I were to say, I will say something with my hands over it. So that way I'm saying the food doesn't come out of my mouth. I know it sounds small, but in a quiet dinner or a restaurant, it's a mark of respect, not just for the food, but for the company. The next one is punctuality. And I think we all know this one. Back home, we jokingly call it Indian Standard Time. It's like an inside joke. If something starts at 7, everyone shows up at 7:30, and we all make fun that, oh, we are operating on IST. But honestly, that's not something that we should be really proud of. And I am really not. Because over time, that same habit starts showing up everywhere, in how we work, how we plan, and even how we are perceived. I learned this when I came to United States. Here, being on time actually means being early. I've seen people arrive 2 minutes before meetings even start. So when I show up exactly at 3 o'clock, which is when the meeting is supposed to start, there are people already waiting there with their computers and waiting for me to start the meeting. So that's when it clicked that people here value time very differently. And honestly, they are right. Because if someone's respecting your time, you are not respecting theirs, that's not about culture, that's about character. Since then, I've made it a rule. Be early no matter where you are in the world, regardless of it's America or India or anywhere else. Because punctuality isn't just about showing up, it's about showing respect to yourself and to other people's time. That brings me to the next cultural rule, which really changed how people saw me, was using please, thank you, or excuse me, or even sorry. Back home, we rarely use these words, especially with people who are close to us. If you tell your friend thank you, they'll probably say, "What? Thank you. You don't need to say that." If you say, I'm sorry that this happened to you," they'll say, why do you have to be sorry? Even saying please sometimes makes it feel like you're being too formal. So when I came to United States, hearing people say please and thank you almost at every sentence constantly felt weird and strange at first. But then my girlfriend, who's my wife now, started gently correcting me. I would say, "Can I get a water?" And she would smile and say, "I'm waiting for the magic word." And then I would laugh and I say, "Can I please get a water?" And then when she handed it to me, I would say thank you. So, but do we ever say thank you to our mom who's making chai or food for us? Over here, they would say that. Over here, if my mother-in-law visits us and we make a dinner, she would say, "Thank you for, having me over here," or "Thank you for making a dinner for me." Now I say that because it's not really about formality. It's actually showing appreciation for what other person is doing. It's how people show respect and equality, whether it's your boss, your partner, or a stranger. So now, please and thank you are my natural part of how I speak and become vocabulary, almost like very natural. It's amazing how these tiny words can make the world around you feel just a little kinder. So I highly recommend that you also start using some of these words in your day-to-day vocabulary and see how people start to react when you use those words. But the next one that I learned during my internship was using phone while you are eating or while you are on the dining table. Back home, again, it's normal. You're eating with your friends or your family, the phone buzzes, you reply quickly, scroll a bit. Nobody really minds. Nobody even really cares. But in America, it's actually seen very differently. I still remember one day during our intern lunch break, we were all having great time. Our co-workers and managers, we're all chatting, having fun. Then my phone buzzed, and then I thought, I'm just gonna quickly reply, look up, and then I looked up. So I looked down, typed a message, and I looked up, and the vibe was shifted. There was like it was subtle, but then there was a little awkward silence. Some people kind of gave me that weird look that why am I with my phone? That's when it hit me that using phone at the table or dining table is a sign that you are not respecting the people around you. You don't respect, unless it's a true emergency, obviously, then you have to take the phone and you say, can I take this? That's usually what I say. I actually need to take this. Is it okay? That's usually what I do. But remember, your attention is the most valuable thing that you can give. And it's not about formality again. It's about your presence. In today's digital age where attention is high currency, and offering it freely when you are around the people is the most simple way to make people feel valued. I am not kidding. So again, try it out and let me know what you think. But you know what's funny is that none of these mistakes came from a bad place. They came from love, excitement, and the habits we grew up with. We bring our culture with us everywhere in how we speak, how we eat, and how we show respect. But when you move to new country, you realize that being polite isn't just about words or manners or formality. It's about awareness, because what's respectful in one culture might look rude in another. And at first it feels strange. You start second guessing everything, your tone, your gestures, even your smile. But slowly you find balance. You learn when to speak, when to pause, when to make eye contact, when to just listen. The truth is, being polite again does not mean you're changing who you are. It just means that you're adapting the new country and the culture with grace, respecting the culture that's welcoming you in. And honestly, that awareness is what helps me connect deeper, make real friendship and relationship, and feel like you belong. So if you ever felt misunderstood or out of place, trust me, you're not alone. Every international student, every immigrant probably have learned this lesson one awkward moment at a time. So I would love to hear what have been your experiences, or what are some of the cultural habits that you felt like, oh, this is something that I learned. Let me know in the comment section, so that way we can learn from each other's experience. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, keep smiling, keep hustling, kara hustle every single day. Check the Crobo money also, link in the description.